Welcome back to the Education System Reboot channel. This will be a short video. I wanted to talk about a phrase that I've been using a lot this week in my teaching to kind of redirect students, to get students to think about how they're using their time. And that is basically, I'll say to them, what should I be doing? Well, you could do something your future self will thank you for. Or is what you're doing, will your future self thank you for what you did? And it gets me thinking about this idea of what we do daily matters. This is something John Maxwell talks about all the time, and I find it really. It seems to be working, I guess, is the first thing, but it also is in line with just the concept of, are you being productive? And I believe in the education system. One of the things that our students are not very good at is using their time wisely, and the thing too is, let's say you get done with an assignment and then the kid's going to do something. They might get on their phone. But again, if you keep asking this simple question, will your future self thank you? It puts the ownership back on them. It gets them thinking about, well, maybe there is something else I could do. And even if it's not something related to our subject or whatnot, maybe it's something that they're passionate about. Maybe they also want to be an artist. I mean, it seems weird, but if they're practicing something else that's going to their future self or something that potentially will help them in the future, that's time well spent. And so it's just been something that I thought about this week and why I wanted to share it here. And I also, just to kind of share it too, so this is a personal story. So we had our second week of school, technically our first full week. We didn't have a full week before. And as a band director, we had our first home football game. I had to get the band ready. There's a lot of things going on. And it was an exhausting, tiring week. Very rewarding, though. The band did great. Shout out to them. But so Saturday, I was wired. I didn't go to bed until pretty late. Didn't set an alarm, but I got up, and I kind of laid in bed. I felt lazy. And it's one of those things where, so I was sitting there, those words kind of popped in my head. Now, I could have completely justified a day of just relaxation, watching baseball or football or whatever, and not really doing anything. And yet, as I was sitting there, I'm like, my future self wouldn't thank me for this. I did have one meeting scheduled on Zoom, and I did do that. And that actually helped me realized there was a few more things I could do. But looking back, I had a very productive Saturday, a well-balanced, that's probably a better word, sorry, a well-balanced Saturday where I did some leisure. I watched some baseball, a little bit of football, but I still was productive. I did my laundry. I did all these things. And it's like my future self will thank me, right? Because my clothes are clean. My apartment's relatively clean. I made a good dinner. There's a lot of things where I'm sitting there going, that was a productive day. And I would have never had that mindset. I would have, me in the past would have simply just been like, oh, it was such a long day yesterday. I'm just going to sleep in. I don't want to do anything. I didn't do that. And it was a well-balanced day. And I feel good about that. And my future self will feel good about that. I can look back. And plus, I'm setting a precedent. I'm setting a standard for myself. Whereas every Saturday or Sunday that maybe I have a little extra time, I really will be asking myself, well, I have these other goals. I have these other things, so why don't I do a little extra? And I don't have to finish everything. So anyway, I think this all ties back to the simple idea that if a teacher is watching this, right, have you ever thought about saying to a student, hey, will your future self thank you for what you're doing? Maybe they're not on task, and you can just say, hey, what you're doing right now, is your future self going to thank you for that? It seems like a very smart thing to do. If a student is watching this, that is a constant question you should be asking yourself. And what I am doing right now helping me build the future I want? Will year from now me go, thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting in that extra effort. I know it was hard in that moment. I know it wasn't what you wanted to do, but you did it. And look where it got you, because you've done that day in and day out, right? This goes back to the daily consistency. Anyway, I just thought that was an important message, and I wanted to make sure I put some thoughts down. Until next time, remember, as always, consistent effort over time equals success. Thank you.